I've had the goal of building up my YouTube channel for many years now. I love making YouTube videos because I love to teach. I love to share. I also love the idea of spending the time to make a video once that could potentially be seen and impact millions of people. So I started making YouTube videos and I've uploaded over 150 YouTube videos to my channel, but they're not getting very many views. You can see here the latest videos on my YouTube channel, the amount of views they've gotten: 1 view, 5 views, 12 views, 5 views. So they're not getting very many views. But although I haven't gone viral, I have learned a lot, and I have 21 lessons that I am going to be sharing in this video from this journey of having uploaded over 150 videos. Okay, let's dive in. So the first lesson is your audience on YouTube? So this lesson is assuming that you're creating content with a certain purpose, like to attract a certain audience, or you want to make videos for a certain group of people. If you don't, then this lesson isn't going to resonate as much. But for me, when I first started making YouTube videos, you could see here in my channel, if you sort by the oldest, well, at the beginning it was kind of random, but then I started making YouTube videos for my market that my business serves. So these are dance studios, music schools, gymnastics, well, specifically dance studios at the beginning. So I made a lot of videos here. You could see dance studios. This is a dance studio video, The problem is that my audience isn't on YouTube. The typical dance studio owner doesn't spend their days on YouTube. They spend most of their time, if they're on social media, it's on Facebook. And so I'm making these videos, but they're not getting very many views because that audience just simply isn't there. So that is something that's a first important lesson. If you're making videos for a specific type of person and that person doesn't hang out on YouTube, then it's going to be very hard to grow. Okay, so that's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, consistency by itself is not enough to hit a breakthrough. So as you can see here, I mean, obviously, I've uploaded a lot of videos, but I started doing something. So after I transitioned from making videos for dance studios, I then started making kind of just update videos, sort of like a daily journal. In fact, that's exactly what I called it. I called it the Daily Journal video series. And I started making videos just sharing what I was working on, things that I learned throughout the day, just things that I was passionate about. And I just started sharing that. And you can see here, day 1, day 2, day 3, I actually kept this up for 50 days. And then I got super busy at work and I couldn't keep doing it, which that's a lesson in and of itself. Like, I wish I would have kept up with this because this was over a year ago and I had stopped it. But yeah, these videos, I mean, as you can see there, they weren't getting any traction. 11 views, 26 views, 19 views, 38 views. So consistency alone, the fact that I did this for 50 days in a row didn't help me become more successful. Now, it did give me some other things. I did end up learning other things, which I'll speak about here. But as a strategy for growing a YouTube channel, consistency by itself is not enough. Lesson number 3. Conventional wisdom is right. The idea, the title, the thumbnail are the most important things in a YouTube video, but I don't pay much attention to them. And the reason why I know that is because the videos, if you sort this out by my most popular videos, even though they don't have very many views, the ideas that have won are, so I've made videos here about things that people have actual problems solving for themselves, or videos that people are curious about, like how to make a circle camera in OBS. If you've ever wanted to do that, you're going to search for that. So that's a video that actually solves a real problem. Another one is like Facebook scams that my clients were dealing with. So I made this video to help out other people. That was something else that was a real problem. So the idea is here where I didn't come up with them out of like thin air. These were actual problems that people were experiencing. And that, even though this thumbnail is not the best, like these thumbnails aren't the best, they were good enough. And the ideas were good enough. I mean, there were problems that people actually had and were searching for, which is why these videos are doing better. The other things too are like the title and the thumbnail. So I made a video here saying like, he has grown over 2 million subscribers now, but here's how he started. It's about this person called Drew Talbert, which grew his YouTube channel super fast. And I talk about how he did it, which was a lesson about like doubling down on what works. So he found something that works and stuck to it. But you could see here that this thumbnail looks a lot different from every other thumbnail that I publish. And so that one did the best. So again, the title, the thumbnail, that matters a lot. Anyway, the lesson here is that if you don't spend time focusing on the idea that you're creating your video about, the title and the thumbnail, which is called like the packaging, the videos don't do as well, which is confusing at first. When you first start out making YouTube videos, you think that you're just going to turn on the camera and start speaking. But the reality is like, from what I've heard, the people who are really successful spend a lot of time thinking about their quote unquote packaging. I mean, it makes sense. Imagine you're trying to sell chocolate and you package your chocolate in like plastic bags that don't say anything in them, and then you put them in the shelves next to these like shiny packaging, these other chocolates that have shiny packaging. Yours isn't going to get picked up, or there's a lot less chance that it will get picked up in comparison to the others. So this is why focusing on the packaging matters so much, because that's what people see first. That's what they judge how good the video is going to be. Anyway, but yeah, I've chosen to ignore this, and this is why I'm 150 videos deep and haven't gotten anywhere. Now, to me, this isn't just about getting views and blowing up my YouTube channel. There's other things that I've gotten out of this, that I'm still getting out of this, which is why I continue to publish videos every day. But if you're trying to grow as fast as possible, then you may, like I've ignored it, and it's not paid off. So if you want to grow, stick to conventional wisdom here. Focus on your packaging, your ideas. Okay, lesson number 4, making content and speaking to the camera like this, especially like making the thumbnails for the videos, still feels weird. Even after 150 videos, you're kind of posting like that on the camera, so it's a little weird. You're making all of this like silly poses. That feels a little weird. I mean, it's only like, I guess I'm judging myself for doing it, but yeah, that I haven't been able to completely get over that, and it doesn't feel 100% completely natural yet. Lesson number 5, making thumbnails for me has felt like an afterthought when it should be one of the biggest priorities. That's again something that I just spoke about, focusing on the packaging. If you are not focusing on your thumbnails, there is very little chance that you'll grow as fast or as much as you would like. You gotta focus on the thumbnail. In fact, I created a video on my YouTube channel that talks about there's like a thumbnail formula. I'll show you here in a second. So I analyzed the thumbnails from all of these creators right here, which have combined, tens, if not 20, 30 million subscribers. I don't know. In any case, I analyzed like the way they created their thumbnails, and I'm just going to scroll real quick through this, but you could see like all of these have words, all of these are quotes, the before and after. You could see the before and after pictures right here. You could see the background here. Like there are kind of templates or structures to making a thumbnail that gives it a better chance of being successful, or at least like based on the ones that I saw, there were structures to the thumbnails. It wasn't just random thumbnails that people were coming up with. Even for this video, I'm creating one using this structure right here, which is like the face and the captions on the side. And I'm testing that out for now. Okay, so focus on the thumbnails. At least, I haven't, but I know it's important. Then another thing you want to do is you want to decide what your goal is for YouTube. If you want to grow, you want to follow the conventional wisdom, like I said. For me, it hasn't been like, yes, I would like to eventually make this, make my YouTube channel grow and focus more on the growth side of things. For now, it's a hobby. Another thing too is like, I wanted to improve my speaking skills. I wanted to document my train of thought. I wanted to look at these videos years later and see where I was at in my life. So to me, this is not just about like growing. In fact, it isn't about growing at the moment. I am treating it differently, which I'll speak about here in a second. But you want to decide like, what do you want to do? Because if you want to grow, then there are strategies. This is like the what I am doing is like the prime example of what not to do. Okay. So for me, this is lesson number 7. One of the things that I've gotten out of YouTube is improving my speaking skills. So I've been consistently uploading videos. You could see here in my YouTube channel every day. I think I'm going on 2 months soon. So I think I'm going to be coming up with like 50 or 60 videos consistently every day soon. And I could tell a huge difference. Like if you watch this video where I'm speaking about marketing a pickleball facility or rethinking creative work or stop overthinking, if you look at those videos and you see the way I'm flowing through my sentences, I'm articulating my thoughts, you'll see that right now, I feel like I've gotten just a little bit better. Like I'm not 100 levels up. I'm like 3 levels up. So slowly I'm working on this skill, and I feel like I've improved greatly at reducing the amount of crutch words that I use. So instead of saying that or filler words, I just pause and stay silent for a second and let the thoughts come to me, which is something that I hadn't done before. So I've learned that by making YouTube videos. So I feel like my speech has gotten a lot better. All right, lesson number 8. I still value volume. So even though volume, as I said, alone isn't the strategy that is going to help you become successful at YouTube, to me, it does build momentum. So every day coming here and sharing something feels like I am doing something to progress my life. It does make me feel momentum. And then eventually when I do want to focus on growth, when I do want to focus more time into like the title, the thumbnail, and putting in more effort, having built up all of this momentum, I think it's only going to be a good thing. So I still value it as a strategy, even if it's not a strategy that's going to guarantee you success. I do think it's still, even if it's just like to improve your skills, creating videos every day have massively helped me. Again, with the last thing I shared, which is like helping me improve my speech. All right, lesson number 9. I've been afraid of making videos because it feels vulnerable to put content out there where you feel like you're not as good as how you want to be. And to me, this is kind of like, so I love playing pickleball. I used to be a dance instructor for many years. I used to do salsa dancing for a long time. And the beginning of any journey, it's always rough. Like you're a beginner. So you're just not good, just to put it like that. So when it comes to YouTube, it's kind of like that. Like imagine if people saw the way I played pickleball when I first started, it's embarrassing. And it feels like that for YouTube, except it's worse because you're making videos like you're not as eloquent, as articulate as you want to be. Your speaking skills are not there. And this is and you know that it isn't there. And you're putting that out into the world knowing that you're just not where you want to be. And so that feels vulnerable to put content out there that you know you're going to be way better in like a year. But for me, I treat this as a self-improvement challenge. So I post it anyway. So even though I know I am not making the caliber or the quality of work that I want to be putting out there, or that I want people to see and associate with me, I feel like I'm sometimes creating content that, like just based on time constraints, based on the fact that I don't think I am as good as I want to be, also based on the fact that I don't spend, like I want to do this with a minimum amount of effort. Like even these slides, they're just like white plain text. They don't have any, like I can make this look nicer if I put in more effort. But at the moment, I'm just trying to treat this like, okay, what is the minimum amount of effort? But in any case, because I am putting the least amount of effort, the videos sometimes show it. But even then, I'm just deciding, you know what, like whatever this is, something that I want to do for a long time. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to keep putting it out there. And it feels like I'm, I don't know, conquering my ego or letting go of my attachment to the videos or not caring. But something good is happening. Like, yeah, where I feel like I'm deciding to let go and just say like, oh, you know what? I'm putting this out there. Even if it's not the best, it's okay. Just letting it go. All right, lesson number 10. No one is watching you at first. And that is a good thing. As you could see here, obviously, nobody's watching. Like 45 views, 24 views, 17 views, 14 views, 17. So like barely anybody's watching. And that's a good thing. I think to myself sometimes before posting videos, like, what if my clients see this? Where my clients are supposed to see me as an authority and this expert. And like, what if they see that I'm putting stuff out there where I'm sharing things about that I'm vulnerable about, or that I am sharing things that about our business. Because right now I've been sharing business updates where I'm saying like, hey, things aren't where we wanted to be right now. And I'm being open about our business. And sometimes I think, what if others see this? What if our competitors see this? Can I still share and can I still be open and risk other people seeing it? But again, to me, this is a self-improvement type of thing as well. Like, yes, I'm going to post it because I don't want those fears to hold me back in life. And so I'm going to do things anyway. So that's the mentality that I have. All right. Lesson number 11. I enjoy the fact that not many people are watching, so I can test things out. So that's another benefit of not having many people see your videos. At the beginning, when I first started, I'm like, man, I hope after so many videos, I start getting traction. And it hasn't happened. Even 150 videos later, no traction. But that's fine. Like, to me, there's also a freedom in not many people seeing the videos, because that means that you could just freely experiment and not feel self-conscious about putting stuff out there that's not as good as you would like it to be, or you're putting stuff out there that you're just simply trying to see if it'll work, or if it doesn't work, and maybe you don't want to be publicly embarrassed because a lot of people see you fail or something like that. At least that's kind of what goes on in my mind. But there's a freedom. Not many people are watching. All right. Lesson number 12. I try not to think of any particular video as being important, so that I can keep creating. Even this video, I'm putting in a lot of effort into it. I scripted this out. I thought of the lessons. I thought of the idea. But even if this doesn't get any views, that's still fine. To me, I'm learning to become detached of the results and just keep creating, try not to see any particular video as being that important. Okay, so this is what I was going to talk about. To me, being in this journey of creating YouTube videos has given me a lot of motivation. I've learned so much about YouTube by watching others and other people talk about how to grow on YouTube. I've seen so many cool inspirational stories of people, quote unquote, making it with their channels, how they've grown and how it's changed their lives. And it's really cool to see people pursuing their call to adventure, pursuing their passions and making it work. So to me, that has given me a lot of motivation. All right, lesson number 14. I've learned not to have expectations. This is kind of related to the lesson that I just shared 2 lessons ago. Or at least I should say, instead of not having expectations, the expectation isn't that I am going to grow, but rather that I am going to get better. So I've learned to reframe my expectations from results into skills. Am I getting better? And to me, that's really important, because it helps me keep going. It helps me not give up and not say oh man, nobody's watching, I'm going to stop making these. No, instead for me, it's more am I learning from posting? Yes. Okay. So I keep doing it. All right. Lesson number 15. I've learned to appreciate the intrinsic value that every video I create, of the videos that I create, And the intrinsic value of every video that you create is that you're documenting a piece of your life. So even if no one watches, it's still cool for you to have that for yourself, to look back years later at a video and see, where you were at that stage of your life, see how you were thinking about things, what you were trying, what your motivations were. Yeah. So for me, that has intrinsic value. So yeah, that is something that has also kept me going, keeps me motivated to keep making more videos. I love the documenting side of things. All right. Lesson number 16. If you aren't growing and you need motivation to keep making videos, treat your YouTube channel as if you were going to go to college and getting a degree in YouTubing. So think of a doctor, who goes to university for so many years, 10 years, before they're able to practice what they were learning. I think for me, it's reminding myself of that and thinking about the long term and not thinking about instant gratification. Hey, I'm just making videos because I want to learn. And maybe after 10 years, I can be like that doctor that comes out and it's okay, you're finally able to practice it. So maybe something will happen from now in 10 years from now. But yeah, so I think of that. It's think of it as you're going to university to learn. This is the same thing. You're making videos, or at least I am making videos because I want to learn. I also think about Mr. Beast and his story of how he created hundreds and hundreds, way more than 150 videos from the ages of 11 to 19, and nobody was watching his videos, but he kept at it, even though he wasn't getting traction. So I find that motivational. All right, lesson 17. I've learned to see YouTube as a skill development program and as a hobby as opposed to a business, because it allows me to focus on the long term. Like every video that I make, I am trying to improve my speech. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to think about the video a little bit differently. I'm also thinking about a hobby that has no purpose. There's no practical purpose to making this video. So if all this is just me putting stuff out there that nobody will ever watch, once again, I'll just think about it in the way of like, okay, I'm just documenting where I'm at, and that's just my hobby. So just whatever you can tell yourself to keep making videos, that's great. Like whatever you can think that would help you stay motivated, if that's ultimately your goal, if that's what you want to do, if you want to have a successful YouTube channel, for example. All right, lesson number 18, don't create, document. This is something that I've been speaking about. So for the longest time, for a few videos, I was trying to create content like how I created this amazing website, how we use ClickUp, how useless hobbies change the world, 2 lessons that change the way I do creative work, which are just kind of tip videos, sharing knowledge. And I love making those videos, but they take time to create the script, to think about the ideas, to even think about the thumbnail and so on. Even though I didn't put that much effort, it still took a lot of time. Like sometimes I'm thinking about these videos or working on these videos for hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. And I know that's nothing in comparison to like the big channels. But I also have a lot of other responsibilities that I have to do during the day. And so this is only like a part-time thing and less than a part-time thing. I'm only trying to dedicate like an hour or so a day. And so I'm trying to do with what I have. So in any case, I thought okay, the fastest way to create content every day isn't to create something new and try to script it out. I'm just here to document what I'm learning and just sharing. Yeah, so that is a way where I've been able to create content and stay consistent, sharing without spending a ton of time. So just documenting instead of creating. And Gary Vee says that, by the way. I'm not going to take credit for that one. All right, lesson 19. It's given purpose to my work. So during the day, we own a company, my wife and I own a company where we help dance studio owners with their marketing, which I spoke about earlier. And the fact that I am sharing daily business updates now, you can see them here. Business update, where I'm sharing what I'm learning, what I'm working on, the biggest problems that I am solving. Because during the day I'm working on our business, during the evening I get to then share about what I've worked on and what I learned. It's given my work purpose. So it's given me even more motivation at work. So that has been another positive benefit to this. Lesson number 20. I ultimately make videos because I enjoy it. If you hate making YouTube videos or speaking in front of the camera or hate watching YouTube videos, but you want to make it in YouTube, as you can see from my story, 150 videos later, it's hard to make it. Or I should say, I shouldn't generalize. It's been hard to make it for me. It hasn't been easy. I've been focused on it. I haven't put in so much work that I could say with confidence, like, this is really, really hard, because, only like an hour a day. It's kind of like trying to beat professional basketball players when you're only practicing an hour a day. Like, that's unrealistic. So yeah, the YouTube is competitive. It does take a long time. So for me, the reason why I stick to it is because I really enjoy it. I love making these videos. But if you don't, then it's going to be difficult to stay at it for a long time. And then lesson number 21 is that I've learned to see this stage of my journey where I'm posting videos and not getting many views as the scene in the movie where the character, quote unquote, puts in the work, like Rocky when he's training, or like Dragon Ball Z where Goku goes into the hyperbolic chamber and trains and like gets stronger, gets better, levels up his skill set. So that to me is what making these videos are. It's kind of like training, getting better. Eventually it'll get so good that I'll get so much better that I won't be bad. And then maybe people will start watching. But for now, it's all about learning the skill set and getting better at it. To me, another reason why I share is because I want to be an example. So I want this to be an example for people who want to follow their passions, who want to do what they love. I want to show people, I want to be an example for putting in the work and doing, like, sticking to something to make it work. Like, if in the future I want to tell somebody, hey, if you want to follow their passions, it's going to take work, I want to have walked that so they could see it. So I want to speak from experience. I also think that making YouTube videos, I mentioned this at the beginning. So I read the book by Naval Ravikant, Naval's Almanac. I also listened to his podcast about how to get rich without getting lucky. And in there, he talks about the 4 types of leverage, one of them being media. The fact that you can make a YouTube channel, so a YouTube video, you could spend time making one YouTube video, and then millions of people can watch it without you doing any additional work. Like, that idea to me is so powerful. So that's another reason why I stay motivated to keep getting better at YouTube. And another reason why I love making these YouTube videos, or why I love the idea of building up a YouTube channel and having YouTube be a part of my career, is because it reminds me of what Nassim Taleb said in his book Anti-Fragile, where there are certain careers that are more prone to risk, like things going wrong, and then there are careers that when things go wrong, it actually, like, not only makes them stronger, not only do they not break, but they actually get stronger. So, like, for example, he gives the example of, like, think of a politician. If a politician gets caught in some sort of scandal, their career dies, and so they're fragile. Now, there are other careers that, like a truck driver, if they got caught in a scandal, nothing happens. That's like a robust career. But there are careers like a writer where if they get caught in a scandal or something happens, like, they go through a rough patch or something, like those musicians who they go through a breakup and they make a killer song out of it. And so those are more anti-fragile careers. Like, the more they go through, the more wear and tear they have, the better their art, the more valuable they become, so it's like trying to figure out how to become more anti-fragile in my life. And I think a YouTube career is something closer to that. So anyway, these are my 21 lessons from what I've learned from making over 150 YouTube videos, publishing over 150 YouTube videos in my YouTube channel. If you've enjoyed this, leave me a comment down below, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.